Canto 34. Vixile regis promenti inferni, marching towards us. Fix your eyes ahead, my teacher said, and see if you can see it. As though a windmill when a thick fog breeze, or else when dark night grips our hemisphere, seen from a distance turning in the wind, so there a great contraption had appeared. And now I shrank against the wind, behind my guide. There were no glades to shelter in. I was by now, I write this verse in fear, where all the shades in ice were covered up, transparent as are straws perceived in glass. Some lay there flat, and others were vertical. One with head raised, another soles aloft, another like a bow bent face to feet. And then when we had gotten still no further on, where now my master chose to show me that creature who had once appeared so fair, he drew away from me and made me stop, saying, "Now see, great Dis. Now see the place where you will need to put on all your strength." How weak I now became, how faded, dry, reader. Don't ask, I shall not write it down, for anything I said would fall far short. I neither died nor wholly stayed alive. Just think yourselves, if your minds are in a flower, what I became, bereft of life and death. The emperor of all these realms of gloom stuck from the ice at the midpoint on his breast. And I am more a giant to compare than any giant measured to it his arm. So now you'll see how huge the whole must be when viewed in fit proportion to that limb. If once he was lovely as now vile, when first he raised his brow against his maker, then truly grief must all proceed from him. How great a wonder it now seemed to me to see three faces on a single head. The forward face was bright vermilion. The other two attached themselves to that, along each shoulder at a central point, and joined together at the crest of hair. The rightward face was whitish, dirty yellow, the left in the color of the tint of those beyond the source from which the Nile first swells. Behind each face were issued two great veins, all 6 proportioned to a fowl like this. I never saw such size in ocean sails. Not feathered as a bird's wings are, bat-like and leathery, each fanning away the air, so 3 unchanging winds moved out from him, Cocytus being frozen hard by these. He wept from all 6 eyes, and down each chin both tears and bloody slobber slowly ran. In every mouth he mangled with his teeth, as flax combs do, a single sinning soul, but brought this agony to 3 at once. Such biting, though, affected the soul in front as nothing to the scratches he received. His spine at times showed starkly, bare of skin. That one up there, commended to greater pain, is Judas Iscariot, my teacher said. His head inside, his feet out, wriggling hard. The other 2, their heads hung down below, are Brutus, dangling from the jet-black snout. Look how he writhes there, uttering not a word. The other Cassius, with burly look. But the night ascends once more, and it's now time for us to quit this hole. We've seen it all. As he desired, I clung around his neck. With purpose, he selected time and place, and when the wings had opened up to full, he took a handful of the furry sides, and then from tuft to tuft he traveled down between the shaggy pelt and frozen crust. And then, arriving where the thigh bone turns, hips extending to their widest there, my leader, with his uttermost stress and strain, swiveled his head to where his shanks had been and clutched the pelt like someone on a climb. So now I thought, we're heading back to hell. Take care, my teacher said. by steps like these, breathless and panting, seemingly all in. We need to take leave of such ill. And then through a fissure in the rock he passed, and set me down to perch there on its rim. After he stretched his careful stride towards me. Raising my eyes, I thought I would see Lucifer where just now had left him, but saw instead his legs held upwards there. If I was struggling then to understand, let other dimwits think how they'd have failed to see what point it was that I now passed. Up on your feet, my teacher ordered me. The way is long, the road is cruelly hard. The sun is at the morning bell already. This was no stroll where we had now arrived through any palace, but a natural cave. The ground beneath was rough, the light was weak. Before my roots are torn from this abyss, sir, I said upright, to untangle me from error, say a little more of this. Where is this ice? And why is that one there fixed upside down? How is it that the sun progresses so rapidly from evening on to day? And he in answer, you suppose you're still on that side of the center where I gripped that worm-rot's coat that pierces all the world. While I was still descending, you were there. But once I turned, you crossed with me the point to which from every part all weight drags down. So you stand here beneath the hemisphere that now is covered wholly with dry land, under the highest point at which there died the one man sinless in his birth and life. Your feet are set upon a little sphere that forms the aspect of Guidentia. It's morning here, it's evening over there. The thing that had made a ladder of his hair is still as fixed as he has always been, falling from heaven when he reached this side. The lands that then spread out the southern parts in fear of him took on a veil of sea. These reached our hemisphere. Whatever now is visible to us, in flight perhaps from him, took refuge here and left any empty space. There is a place, as distant from Beelzebub as his own tomb exceeds in breadth, known not by sight, but rather by the sound of waters falling in a rivulet eroding, by the wind course it takes, which is not very steep, an opening in that rock. So now we entered on that hidden path, my lord and I, to move once more towards a shining world. We did not care to rest. We climbed, he going first and I behind, until through some small aperture I saw the lovely things the sky above us bare. And now we came out and once more saw the stars.